The space station was huge. It floated in the darkness between stars like a metal city. Lights blinked on its surface. Ships came and went every minute. This was Station Viridian 7, the place where aliens from across the galaxy came to watch fights. Today was special. Today was the start of the Dominion Trials. The Dominion Trials happened once every 5 years. Warriors from different planets came here to fight. The winners got power. Their planets got better trade deals. Their species got respect. The losers got nothing but shame. Thousands of aliens filled the arena seats. They had different shapes and sizes. Some had scales. Some had fur. Some had no bodies at all and floated like ghosts. They all spoke different languages, but the translator machines made everyone understand each other. In one corner of the arena, a group of humans sat together. There were only 12 of them. They looked small compared to everyone else. Other aliens looked at them and laughed quietly. Humans had joined the galactic community only 3 years ago. Before that, they lived alone on their little blue planet called Earth. The galaxy thought they were weak. Their bodies had no armor. Their bones broke easily. They could not breathe underwater or survive in space without machines. They were soft, fragile, useless. That is what everyone believed. Una stood in the tunnel that led to the arena floor. She was 22 years old. She came from a city called Biza on Earth. She was not tall. She was only 160 centimeters. Her hair was black and tied back in a simple ponytail. Her face was calm. Her eyes were steady. She wore simple clothes. A plain fighting suit. No armor, no shield, no weapons. The other fighters in the tournament wore heavy metal plates, energy barriers, and carried blades that could cut through stone. Una had nothing but her body. Behind her stood Taiho. He was the human ambassador to the Galactic Collective. He was older, maybe 60 years old, with gray hair and a worried face. His job was to speak for humanity. Today, his job was to watch a young woman from his planet walk into a fight she was not supposed to win. Una, he said quietly, you can still say no. We can leave right now. No one will blame you. Una did not turn around. She kept looking at the arena ahead. They will blame us, she said. They will say humans are cowards. They will say we are afraid. They will never respect us. Respect does not matter if you are dead. I will not die today. Taiho wanted to argue. He wanted to grab her arm and pull her away from this place. But he knew he could not. Una had made her choice. She had trained her whole life for moments like this. She was not just a fighter. She was a master of an ancient art from Korea called Taekyon. She had studied it since she was 5 years old. She had won every competition on Earth. She had never lost a single match. But this was not Earth. Her first opponent was named Gorvak. He was from a planet called Kreth. The Kreth were a warrior species. They lived to fight. Their planet had heavy gravity, so their bodies grew strong and dense. Their bones were like iron. Their skin was like rock. They had 4 arms instead of 2. They stood over 2 meters tall. Gorvak was the best of them. He was called the Unbroken because no one had ever hurt him in a fight. He had killed more than 200 opponents. He had won the Dominion Trials 3 times before. He was a legend. And today, he would fight a small human girl with no armor. The crowd loved it. They cheered when Gorvak walked into the arena. He was massive. His forearms stretched wide as he greeted his fans. His body was covered in scars from old battles. Each scar was a victory. Each scar was a life he had taken. Then Una walked out. The crowd went quiet. Then they started to murmur. Then some of them laughed. Is this a joke? One alien said loud enough for everyone to hear. They sent a child? Humans are stupider than I thought. another said. This will not even be a fight. It will be a murder. Yuna heard all of it. She did not react. She walked to the center of the arena and stopped. She stood straight. She looked up at Gorvek. He looked down at her. His 4 eyes blinked slowly. She saw something in them. Was it pity? Was it confusion? She did not care. Little creature, Gorvek said. His voice was deep like thunder. The translator made his words clear but kept the rumble. I have killed many warriors. Strong warriors. Brave warriors. You are neither. But I am not cruel. I will make this quick. I will give you a fast death. That is my mercy. Yuna looked at him for a long moment. The arena was silent. Everyone waited to see if she would cry, if she would beg, if she would run. She did none of those things. Thank you, she said calmly. I will try to do the same for you. The crowd made a sound of surprise. Some laughed again. Some looked confused. Gorvak's eyes narrowed. For a moment, just a moment, something flickered across his face. It was not anger. It was not amusement. It was doubt. But he pushed it away. How could he doubt? She was human. Humans were nothing. This fight would last 10 seconds at most. The referee drone floated above them. It was a small machine with no feelings. It only had one job: to announce the start and end of fights. The rules are simple, the drone said. Fight until one of you surrenders, cannot continue, or dies. Weapons are allowed. Powers are allowed. There are no other limits. Yuna nodded. Gorvak cracked his 4 knuckles. The sound echoed across the arena. Begin, the drone said. The arena erupted with noise. The crowd screamed for blood. They expected a quick death. They expected the human girl to be crushed like an insect. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The moment the drone said, "Begin," Gorvak moved. He was fast. Too fast for something so big. His body shot forward like a bullet. His 4 arms pulled back, ready to strike. The ground cracked under his feet. Each step shook the arena floor. The crowd roared with excitement. This was what they came to see. This was Gorvak the Unbroken doing what he did best. Destroying his enemies. Yuna did not move. She stood in the same spot. Her arms hung loose at her sides. Her feet were planted on the ground. Her eyes watched Gorvak come toward her. She looked calm. Too calm. Like she was watching rainfall, not a giant alien rushing to kill her. Some people in the crowd laughed. They thought she was frozen with fear. They thought her body had stopped working because her brain knew she was about to die. They were wrong. Gorvak reached her in less than 2 seconds. His right arms came down together like hammers. Each fist was bigger than her head. If they hit her, they would turn her bones to dust. But they did not hit her. At the last moment, Yuna moved. It was not a jump. It was not a dodge. It was something smaller, smoother. Her body shifted to the side like water flowing around a rock. Gorvak's fists crashed into empty air. The force of his punch made wind blow across the arena. He missed. Gorvak's eyes went wide. He tried to turn, but Yuna was already behind him. She moved like a shadow, silent, quick, impossible to follow. Then she hit him, her palm pressed against his side. It looked gentle. It looked like she was just touching him, like she was patting a friend on the back. There was no loud sound, no explosion, no flash of light, but Gorvak stumbled. His huge body swayed. He took 1 step, then another. Then he stopped and pressed 1 hand against his ribs. His face changed. The confidence was gone. Something else took its place. Pain. The arena went silent. Every alien stopped cheering. They stared at the scene below. They could not believe what they were seeing. Gorvak, the Unbroken, was hurt. What? He breathed. His voice was different now, weaker. What did you do? Yuna stood a few meters away. She had not moved since hitting him. Her arms were at her sides again. Her breathing was normal. She was not tired at all. Your armor is strong, she said simply. Your bones are hard, but the things inside you are soft. And force travels through bone. When I hit you, the energy went through your armor and hurt what was underneath. Gorvik stared at her. He did not understand. No one had ever explained how they hurt him before. No one had ever heard him before. In the crowd, the aliens started to whisper. Did you see that? How is that possible? She barely touched him. It must be a trick. Some kind of human technology. But there was no technology. No trick. Just Yuna. Gorvak's 4 hands curled into fists again. The pain in his side made him angry. His pride made him angrier. He was a champion. He was unbroken. He would not lose to this tiny, soft creature. Lucky, he growled. That was luck. It will not happen again. He attacked once more. This time, he was smarter. He did not charge straight forward. He moved around her. He used his 4 arms to attack from different angles at the same time. Left, right, up, down. He tried to trap her, to corner her, to give her nowhere to run. Yuna moved through his attacks like a ghost. She ducked under a punch that would have taken her head off. She twisted past an arm that tried to grab her. She stepped around a kick that cracked the arena floor. Every move was small, efficient, perfect. She never wasted energy. She never showed fear, and she kept hitting him. A palm to his ribs, a fist to the joint of his arm, a kick to the back of his knee. Each strike looked soft. Each strike sounded quiet. Each strike did damage. Gorvik felt his body breaking. Something was wrong with his right side now. Every breath hurt. His left arm was not moving correctly. His knee made a grinding sound when he walked. How? How was this happening? He roared and swung all 4 arms at once. It was his strongest attack. The move that had killed dozens of warriors. The air screamed from the force of it. Yuna jumped, not away from him, toward him, over his arms. She flipped through the air like it was nothing, like gravity did not matter to her. She passed over his head, and as she did, her foot came down. It hit his shoulder. The crack was loud this time. Even the crowd heard it. Gorvik screamed. His upper right arm dropped. The bone inside had broken. Yuna landed behind him. She turned around calmly. She was still not tired. Her ponytail had not even come loose. Gorvik fell to one knee. His breathing was heavy. Blood dripped from his mouth. 3 of his ribs were cracked. His shoulder was shattered. His knee was damaged. He could barely stand. Impossible, he whispered. This is impossible. Yuna looked at him with something that might have been sadness. I am sorry, she said quietly. I was told to make this fight look close. I was told to hold back. But you are strong. Stronger than I expected. So I had to use a little more. Gorvak's eyes went wide. Hold back? She was holding back? The truth hit him harder than any punch. This human girl, this tiny creature from a weak planet, had been playing with him. She had not been fighting at full strength. She had been careful, gentle even, and she had still destroyed him. In the stands, Ambassador Taiho watched with his mouth open. He knew Yuna was strong. He had seen her train, but seeing it in real combat was different. It was terrifying. The galaxy was about to learn a lesson that humanity had known for thousands of years. Size did not matter. Armor did not matter. Strength did not matter. What mattered was skill. What mattered was precision. What mattered was knowing exactly where to hit and how hard. And Una knew these things better than anyone alive. In the stands, a Kreth diplomat named Vorath sat frozen in his seat. His forearms gripped the chair so hard that the metal bent. His eyes were locked on the arena below. This could not be real. Gorvak was the pride of his species. He was the strongest warrior the Kreth had ever produced. He had trained since birth. He had fought in real wars. He had crushed armies by himself. His bones were so dense that bullets bounced off them. His muscles could lift STA or SHIP, and a human girl was breaking him apart with her bare hands. How? Vorath whispered. How is this possible? Beside him, Ambassador Taiho sat very still. His face showed nothing. But inside, his heart was beating fast. He knew the truth. He had always known. And now, the galaxy was beginning to see it too. Humans have been lying. When humanity first met alien life, they were careful. They studied the galaxy before making contact. They learned about the different species. They saw how power worked. The strong ruled. The weak served. That was the law of the universe, so humans decided to look weak. They hid their true nature. They talked about peace and cooperation. They showed the galaxy their art, their music, their science. They acted friendly and harmless. They let everyone think they were soft little creatures from a safe little planet. But Earth was not safe. It had never been safe. Earth was a world of predators. A world of constant competition. A world where humans had fought each other for thousands of years. They had invented thousands of ways to kill. They had created weapons that could destroy cities. They had developed fighting styles so advanced that a single trained human could defeat 10 untrained ones. Humans did not survive because they were strong. They survived because they were smart, adaptable, and absolutely ruthless when they needed to be. Una was proof of this. She had started learning Taikian when she was 5 years old. Her grandmother had taught her. Her grandmother had learned from her grandmother. The art had been passed down for centuries. It was not just fighting. It was science. Every move was calculated. Every strike was precise. Every technique was designed to do maximum damage with minimum effort. On Earth, Una was considered a genius. She had won national championships before she was 15. She had beaten men twice her size. She had never met an opponent. She could not handle Dodd when the human government looked for someone to represent humanity in the Dominion trials. They chose her. But they also gave her strict orders. Do not show your full strength. Hold back. Make it look close. We are not ready for the galaxy to know what we can really do. Una had agreed. She understood the plan. Humanity was still new to the galaxy. They had few allies, many enemies. If the other species knew how dangerous humans really were, they might attack first. They might try to destroy Earth before humans grew too powerful. So, Una held back. She used only 30% of her real strength. She moved slower than she could. She hit softer than she was able. She gave Gorvak chances he should not have had. And she still broke his bones. In the arena, Gorvak pushed himself to his feet. His body was failing. 3 ribs cracked. 1 shoulder shattered. 1 knee grinding. Blood in his mouth. Every breath was agony. But he was Kreth. He would not surrender. He would die before he gave up. You, he gasped, looking at Una. You are not what you seem. Una nodded slowly. No, she said. I am not. What are you? What are humans really? Una thought about the question. She thought about Earth's history. The wars, the violence, the endless struggle for survival. She thought about her ancestors who had fought with swords, spears, and bare hands. She thought about the millions of humans who had died in battles throughout history. We are survivors, she said finally. Our planet tried to kill us every day. The weather, the animals, the diseases, other humans. Everything wanted us dead. But we did not die. We adapted. We learned. We became strong. She paused. And we became very, very good at fighting. Gorvik stared at her. For the first time in his life, he felt something he had never felt before. Fear. Not fear of death. He was ready to die. But fear of something bigger. Fear of what this meant. If one human girl could do this to him, what could a million humans do? What could a billion humans do? What had the galaxy invited into its family? In the stands, the crowd was changing. The laughter was gone. The confidence was gone. Aliens looked at each other with worried eyes. They looked at the small group of humans sitting together. They saw them differently now. Not weak. Not harmless. Not soft. Dangerous. Vor. Wrath turned to Ambassador Taiho. You lied to us, he said. His voice was shaking. You made us think you were weak. You made us think you were no threat. Taiho finally spoke. His voice was calm. We never said we were weak. You assumed that. You looked at our small bodies and soft skin and decided we were nothing. That was your mistake. Not ours. Varath's hands trembled. What else have you hidden? What else are you capable of? Taiho smiled. It was a small smile. A polite smile. The kind of smile humans gave when they knew something you did not. I think, he said, you should watch the rest of the fight. Then you can decide for yourself. In the arena, Yuna took a deep breath. She had been holding back long enough. She had made the fight look close. She had given Gorvik his chance. Now it was time to end this. Gorvik raised his 3 working arms. His right upper arm hung useless at his side. Every movement sent pain through his body. But he was still standing. He was still fighting. He would die on his feet like a true Kreth warrior. Come, he growled at Yuna. Finish what you started. Yuna looked at him with respect. He was broken. He was bleeding. He was losing. But he refused to quit. She had met warriors like him before. They were rare. They were special. They deserved honor. You are brave, she said. Braver than anyone I have fought before. Save your words, Gorvik spat. Fight. Yuna nodded. She shifted her stance. Her weight moved to her back foot. Her front foot pointed forward. Her hands rose slightly, open palms facing Gorvik. This was the starting position of Taikian. The position her grandmother had taught her 20 years ago. Gorvik attacked. He threw everything he had left into one final assault. His 3 arms came at her from different directions. His good leg pushed him forward with all his remaining strength. He was slower now, weaker, but still dangerous. One hit would still kill her. Yuna did not run. She did not dodge. She attacked too. Her body moved forward to meet him. For one heartbeat, the crowd saw something they would never forget. The tiny human girl running straight at the giant alien warrior. It looked like suicide. It looked like madness. It was neither. Yuna's foot left the ground. Her body spun in the air. Her leg extended. It was a simple kick. The most basic technique in Taikian. Children learned it in their first week of training. But when Yuna did it, it was art. Her foot connected with Gorvik's chest. Right in the center. Right where his heart beat behind his iron bones. The sound was like thunder. It echoed through the arena. It rattled the seats. It made the energy barrier flicker. Gorvik stopped moving. His eyes went wide. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. For one moment, he stood frozen in place. Then he flew backward. His body left the ground. All 800 kilograms of Kreth warrior lifted into the air. He traveled 10 meters before hitting the arena barrier. The energy field sparked and screamed. The wall behind it cracked. Gorvak slid down to the ground. He did not move. The arena was silent. Not a single sound. Thousands of aliens stared at the scene below. Their brains could not process what they had just seen. It was impossible. It broke every law of physics they knew. A human, a small human female, had kicked the Kreth champion so hard that he flew through the air. Yuna landed softly on her feet. She lowered her leg. She took a breath. Then she turned and looked at the crowd. No one moved. In the stands, Varth had stopped breathing. His four hands covered his mouth. His eyes were so wide they looked like they might fall out of his head. That, he whispered, that is not possible. The force required, the strength needed. No human should be able to. Ambassador Taiho nodded slowly. We are full of surprises, he said quietly. The referee drone floated toward Gorvak's body. It scanned him with blue light. After a moment, it spoke. The warrior Gorvak is alive. He is unconscious. He cannot continue fighting. A pause. Winner. Yuna of Earth. The words echoed through the arena. Winner. Yuna. Earth. Words that should not go together. Words that changed everything. Slowly, sound returned. It started as whispers, then murmurs, then something that might have been fear. The human won. She won without trying. Did you see how she moved? Did you see what she did? She was holding back. You heard what she said. She was holding back. If that was holding back, what is her full power? Yuna did not listen to them. She walked toward the exit tunnel. Her steps were steady. Her face was calm. She did not celebrate. She did not smile. She felt no joy in hurting Gorvak. He was a good warrior. He deserved better than to lose to someone who was not even trying. As she walked, medical drones rushed past her toward Gorvak. They surrounded his body and began scanning. The results appeared on screens around the arena for everyone to see. 7 ribs fractured. Internal bleeding in 3 organs. Both knees damaged. Right shoulder shattered. Heart bruised. Spine cracked in 2 places. He would live. The Kreth were tough. They could survive injuries that would kill other species. But Gorvak would never fight again. His career was over. His body would never fully heal. And Yuna had done all of this while holding back. In the tunnel, Yuna passed other fighters who were waiting for their matches. They stared at her. Some moved away as she approached. Some could not move at all. They just stood frozen, watching the small human girl walk past them. One fighter, a tall alien covered in blue scales, spoke. What are you? He asked. His voice shook. Yuna stopped. She looked at him for a long moment. I am human, she said simply, and I am not special. On my planet, there are millions like me. Some are even better. The blue alien went pale. He backed away until he hit the wall. Yuna continued walking. Behind her, the arena was still in chaos. Diplomats shouted at each other. Military leaders sent urgent messages to their home planets. Scientists demanded to study humans. Intelligence agents began writing reports. The galaxy had made a terrible mistake. They had invited humans into their community, thinking they were harmless. They had laughed at the soft little creatures from the small blue planet. No one was laughing now. The preparation room was quiet. Yuna sat on a bench, wrapping fresh cloth around her hands. Her knuckles were not even bruised. Her body showed no signs that she had just fought the galaxy's most dangerous warrior. The door opened. Ambassador Taiho walked in and closed it behind him. For a long moment, he just stood there, looking at her. He paused, searching for words. That was something. Yuna did not look up. She kept wrapping her hands, left, right, left again. You held back, Taiho said. Just like we asked. Yes. And you still destroyed him. Yes. Taiho moved to sit on the bench across from her. His old body felt heavy. The weight of what had just happened pressed down on him. The galaxy saw everything. They saw you break him with your bare hands. They saw you kick him across the arena. They saw you do it all without breaking a sweat. Yuna finally looked up. Good. Good? Taiho frowned. This changes everything. Our entire strategy was to stay hidden, to seem weak, to build strength in secret. Now everyone knows what we can do. Yuna finished wrapping her hands. She set them on her knees and looked at the old ambassador. Hiding was never going to work forever, she said. They would have found out eventually. Someone would have pushed us. Someone would have attacked one of our colonies. Someone would have forced us to show our real power. She stood up. At least this way, we showed them on our own terms. In a place of honor. In a fair fight. I did not murder anyone. I did not start a war. I simply won a match that everyone thought I would lose. Taiho was quiet for a long time. You are right, he admitted finally. But what happens now? They are afraid of us. Afraid people do dangerous things. Then we show them something else, Yuna said. We show them that we are not just strong. We are also fair. We are also kind. We fight with honor. We help those who need help. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. She walked to the door. Fear is the beginning. Respect comes after. And maybe, someday, trust. Outside, the arena was emptying. Aliens left in small groups, talking quietly among themselves. Their world had changed. The balance of power had shifted. A new player had entered the game, and no one knew what would happen next. Yuna walked through the station's corridors. Aliens moved out of her way. Some stared. Some whispered. Some ran. She ignored them all. In a medical bay nearby, Gorvak was waking up. His body was wrapped in healing machines. Tubes fed medicine into his blood. Devices held his broken bones in place. He opened his eyes slowly. Everything hurt. But he was alive. A doctor stood beside him. A Kreth doctor with worried eyes. You are lucky to be alive, the doctor said. The human. She hit you very hard. But not hard enough to kill. It was precise, controlled. She knew exactly how much force to use. Gorvak said nothing for a moment. He stared at the ceiling. She was holding back, he said finally. His voice was rough and weak. She told me. She was holding back. The doctor was quiet. If she had used her full strength, Gorvak continued, I would be dead. She chose to let me live. She chose to hold back. She could have killed me in the first second, but she did not. He closed his eyes. I thought humans were weak. I thought they were nothing. I was a fool. Across the station, diplomats from 100 worlds gathered in emergency meetings. They talked about what they had seen. They argued about what it meant. They worried about what would happen next. Some wanted to declare war on humanity, destroy them before they became too powerful. Some wanted to form an alliance, make friends with the humans before they became enemies. Some wanted to study them, learn their secrets, copy their techniques, and some, the wisest among them, simply wanted to talk, to understand, to find a way forward that did not end in blood. In her small room on the station, Yuna sat by the window. She looked out at the stars. So many stars. So many worlds. So many species. And now they all knew about humans. Her communicator buzzed. A message from Earth. Congratulations. You did well. The council is proud. But be careful now. Everyone is watching. Yuna read the message twice. Then she deleted it. She was not afraid of being watched. She was not afraid of the galaxy's attention. She had trained her whole life for this moment. She had prepared herself for the weight of being humanity's first true warrior on the galactic stage. She thought about Gorvok, about his bravery, about his refusal to give up even when he was broken. He was a true warrior. In another life, they might have been friends. Maybe, after he healed, she would visit him, apologize for hurting him so badly, explain why she had done what she did, perhaps even offer to teach him, show him what humans knew about fighting, share the wisdom of Earth. Or perhaps not. Perhaps some wounds were too deep to heal. Perhaps some gaps were too wide to cross. Only time would tell. Outside her window, the stars continued to shine. The universe continued to turn. And somewhere, in the darkness between worlds, humanity was taking its first real steps toward its destiny. They had come from a small blue planet at the edge of the galaxy. They had been laughed at, ignored, dismissed. They would not be dismissed anymore. This was only the beginning.